Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today it's going to be a match between Flash and Zero here on Destination. Got this replay off of Team Liquid, the forums. If you look hard enough, you can find good replays, and I've been looking hard enough to find this replay. Alright, so top side of the map here, we have the teal Zerg player. It is Zero. And in the bottom side, it is Flash, the green Terran player. Hang on a second. Somebody... doesn't make any sense, dude. This is going to be a tough one for our colorblind fans and our normal, like, not colorblind fans, because these shades of green are not very far apart. Somebody in the comments a little bit ago said that there's an alternate color scheme if you go shift tab, but looks like only yellow here is available. So anyway, it's going to be Flash versus Zero. They are talking up a storm here on Destination. I had a request to do another Flash replay, and I said, it has been a while since I have cast Flash, so here we go. Bum, 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 bum. Bottom. Look at this guy. It's an Ursidon. Actually sending a drone out here is the Zerg player. What is this all about? I don't know, but it's a barracks first opening. About 12 supply there for Flash. Nothing too crazy there whatsoever. I did cast a ginormous best of 5 between these two players a couple of years ago. It's gotten a lot of attention. Zero and Flash just bring the best out of each other, I feel like. They're both incredible players. That is just without question here. And 12 hatching. On the top side there is our guy. So, actually, hold on a second. Let me search something real fast as this drone is trying to harass a little bit. Yeah, that's right. Zero did change his name to Queen. It's just, it's been so long. I've been calling him Queen so much that I forgot. So we'll call him Queen. How about that? That is his name currently. At the time this game was played, it was Zero. He's since changed it to Queen, and let's just call him Queen to respect the fact that he is Queen here in 2021 in this 1440p cast. Anyway, hope you're enjoying the additional detail available to us in 1440p. Just looks a little bit sharper, a little bit cleaner. That's what this is all about. Pool coming up here from the Zerg player. Overlord's counting around to see if there's an expansion yet, and there's not. As we are going into second supply depot, really worried about early lings, but that is not the case. I mean, this pool is about halfway complete. There's no reason to wall off this early. SCV is scouting around, trying to see what is what, and is going to recognize, okay, the timing on the hatch means that the pool is not done yet, so that's fantastic news for me. And there's no gas either, so yeah, don't have to worry about speedlings or anything. I'd say go for the expansion as soon as possible here for Flash. Although getting a factory, wow. Wow. Barracks into factory here with the gas. Is that only one worker on gas currently? Yeah, sure looks like it's one worker on gas until 92 gas and then pulling everybody off. Seems a weird number. Maybe we were intending to get to 100. I don't know. But anyway, Vulture coming out. He's not telling me what... There you go. There's your production tab. That is a glitchy thing about replays, though. Macro hatch coming up here, too, from Queen. Got a sunken colony coming up at the front. Gas is now finishing up, and Lings are coming out to see, are there Vultures coming to kill me? Are there Marines coming to kill me? No Marines at all, actually. Did we make any Marines today? Yes, one. One Marine to make sure an Overlord can't just free and easy scout on in here. Because if we're just going Vulture tank, that can't, none of that stuff can shoot up at all. So Vulture going to cruise on in here, but there's going to be a sunken ready to go. And even if you try to run by with one Vulture, you're going to take a ton of shots to the body from this sunken colony. Plus there's a couple Lings in the mix to kind of mess you up as well. Or there were Lings in the mix to mess you up as well. Did I hallucinate those? I may have done so. Just drones. Drones will try to mess you up as well, which is they're not good at, but they'll give it a shot anyway. There's your expansion from Flash. He's going for Spider Mine upgrade for them. Vultures, first of all. Got our Zerg music in the background, which again, this particular track doesn't seem to have any kind of a melody. It's really just about atmosphere. It kind of always makes me feel like I'm in a cave. Like it's kind of this echoey... You can hear those dongs. It kind of feels like it's echoing off the walls of something, probably a cave. Like it's a Zerg hatchery set inside a natural formation. It's a really good atmosphere. I like it. Lair just about to finish here from Queen. And on the other side, we'll get an engineering bay at some point, but second factory is started. We are just going straight mech today. We've seen Flash beat Zerg players by going straight bio with Science Vessel support. We've seen him beat Zerg players by going for bio into mech. And we've seen him go straight into mech and win games as well. So Overlord says, second factory, cool. So I really don't have to worry about Marines all that much, do I? But I do have to worry about siege tanks maybe earlier than I would want to, and vultures for sure as well. So it seems to be Hydralisks. I don't know if you want to go into lurkers at this stage. It's not going to help you as much versus the siege tanks that are sure to come out of the southern section of the map here on Destination. That's for sure. Yep, Spider-Mine does take down a Zergling, but that's a fair trade. Queen is totally fine with that. And is there a third base, says this vulture? No. No, there is not a third base, but thank you for asking. Is he gonna... Yeah, oh, he's just doing the Goliath thing. So he's like, I know you're trying to go Mutalisks. I can tell based on your lair timing, you're trying to go Mutas. You got your second gas up. We're going to deal with those with Goliath with the Charon booster upgrade. That's the plan here. We're not making Marines. We're not making an engineering bay for turrets. We're going to survive this with Goliaths, which is totally doable if you happen to be Flash. If you're not Flash, you can still probably pull it off, but maybe not against a Zerg player as good as Queen is here. Speed on the way for them. Hydralisks going for Pneumatized Carapace. So speed upgrade for the Overlords for scouting purposes. Scouting a little bit easier, I think, when there aren't any Marines on the field. Of course, you do have to worry about the aforementioned Goliaths. Hydras are pretty good at trading against Vultures. Less good at trading against Goliaths. Goliath DPS, I say this a lot, it's more than you think it is. Like, generally, it's true in Brood War that if something can shoot up and down, one of those attacks is weaker than the other one. And it's true, the ground attack is not as good as the anti-air attack for Goliath, but it's still real beefy, man. It's 12 attack. Twin autocans, smashing stuff in the face. They do more damage than Marines do. That said, they're slower, so if they are retreating from something, doesn't go as well for them. But if they're setting up, attacking a base, and you can't run away from them, you're going to have a bad time. Charon Boosters is on the way. We have a Spire, but I don't think we made any Mutas, did we? We were just spending our gas on other stuff at the moment, although sitting on 400 gas. It feels like Zero was trying to go for Muta. Maybe just for Scourge to deal with any Science Vessels that happen to be on the field here today, because it really has to be said, you need Science Vessels in your compositions, no matter what you're doing against Zerg, just because Irradiate is such a good spell, and the ability to Irradiate Defilers especially is going to come in handy. Even if your opponent doesn't make any Lurkers or Ultralisks, there's still going to be Defilers, and Irradiating those is exceptionally useful. Still no third base. I worry about this for Queen quite a bit. It's time, though, right? We're at 49 supply, sitting at about 600 minerals. Go. Friend. Oh, I guess we're expanding over here instead. All right, I guess that's where your third base is. You have enough money to make a fourth, though. Might as well double expand. That's the thing. Oh, wait a second. I keep expecting tanks, but you know what we're not really making is tanks. We have a lot of Goliaths. We saw Advokat, the Russian Terran player, really stick it to Jadong in a replay not too long ago, well, at least on the channel, but several years ago in real life, where he just made Goliaths and had a really solid timing attack. So I'm wondering if Flash is just going for something along those lines. Just a ton of Goliaths. You can deal with the Hydras exceptionally well, way better than you would expect to be able to, especially if you have +1 attack, and especially if the Hydras don't have any armor or attack upgrades. Also, they can handle the Mutalisks. We saw Idra do this to someone as well on the channel. So this is a fairly rare tactic that we're seeing out of Flash. But you know what? If your opponent's going for them Hydras, not a bad idea. It's almost like Lings would be way better against this. Zerglings getting a surround on Goliath is actually Goliath's worst nightmare. And we did make a ton of Mutas, finally. It's later, but recognizing we can't really harass all that much. Oh, we did end up making an engineering bay and a billion... just a lot of missile turrets. All right, fair enough. We do need missile turrets today, Flash. Heaven, you know, far be it from me to tell you what you need to do. Boom, boom. All right, so the Mutas control the skies. There is no Irradiate available. There are no Science Vessels, although we're working on it. Science Facility is done. We've got our... There it is. Science Facility starting... Bleh, Science Vessel starting now. Mutaflux is 8. It's not 12, it's not 11, it's not 13. It's 8. They're stacked up. They're ready to try to kill some stuff, but the range on these Goliaths, they do half damage to the mutas because of the types of damage we're dealing with here. But the distance from which they can attack compared to the distance that the mutas can attack means they're taking fire without really being able to retaliate, and that just sucks for them. Did end up taking a 4th base over here on the left side, so I like what Queen is doing. I'm not going to argue with him here. He's got a ton of Hydralisks out. Again, I'd really like to see mutas added into the mix, especially if there aren't a ton of spider mines or a ton of siege tanks either. And these might be the last spider mines on the map. Actually, I mean, I'm looking for other instances of green out there. I don't see it. It is so hard to tell these two different shades of green apart. It's it's a little bit crazy. All right, Mutaflux, 12 at least right now. Several of them are injured. We're getting air armor. Air Carapace on the way now from Queen. Really wants to kind of lean into these Mutalisks against this Goliath count, recognizing there are no Marines. Irradiate might be done already. I didn't see that come through and get researched, but we definitely have science vessels. There we go. Irradiate starting now. 7 more mutas on the way. All right, we are committing to this. Additionally, we're just sending overlords out. I think we're scouting missions here on Destination to see what is what, and the answer is not much right now. Flash is at home, but he might be moving out based on the siege modes we're hearing. Yeah, siege mode sounds. We're hearing down to the south. So we're going to try to spread out, get a ton of vision on the map here. We look at it. That's pretty good, man. Look at that vision we've got. Right side, left side, center. Flash kind of hemmed in. When he does move out, he's not going to sneak out. That's for sure. And that's a big deal. That's a really nice big deal for Queen. Taking a 3rd base over to the left side, which again is getting scouted because this Overlord is fantastic. Mutas, that is so many Mutalisks trying to jump on top of this, but the turret count just covering this main base so exceptionally well. The mutas aren't going to get anything done. What they kill? Maybe 2, 3 turrets here, maybe a supply depot, but that was about it. Yeah, Mutalisks aren't necessarily combat units in a lot of ways. They're great at killing stuff that can't shoot back. Really good at killing siege tanks, for example, but not so good at killing other things. But this is, my gosh, this is the most Mutalisk we've seen in one place in a long time on the channel. I'm feeling like here in 2021. +1 armor. Working on +2 armor. Almost done there. And then, oh, there we go. Carapace ground upgrades and melee attack upgrades. And a Queen's Nest. We might try to go for Ultras here. If the siege tank isn't too high, and it's a lot of Goliaths, Ultras can be pretty darn good. But my gosh, here comes the chaos. We are just wandering into death here. Irradiate all over everything. The Goliaths firing from off screen for the most part. The Mutalisks are not happy. I'm not convinced that Queen actually split all that well against that Irradiate, or those multiple Irradiates, and now the Hydras are left, and the Siege Tanks are handling those quite nicely with their +2 attack, and the Mutas have to get on out of here. So Queen going for it, absolutely making an attempt to go for it here. Didn't really work out for him. It's 111 to 89 total supply. Flash has a lead. Going to start marching out a little bit here, picking off some of these Overlords. Causing everyone some trouble. The Hydras, again, not bad here, but when the tanks siege up, it's really time to get on out. They've got 2-1 upgrades, just like the siege tanks do, so at least they're keeping a pace with that. Both players just making nothing but Goliaths. I guess there's one siege tank on the way. And Hydralisks. A Hive is on the way back home for the Zerg player too. 3rd base happily running, happily defended here. And trying to attack down the left side again. Here comes Queen, but I don't know about this, lads. Those tanks are sieging up, and once that sound comes up, you get your Hydras out of there. Starting to add a few more Lings to the mix. I just feel like if you get a surround here, get surrounded by Cracklings with full upgrades, you could crush this army. I don't know that Hydras are necessarily what you want. Again, far be it for me to tell Queen how to play this, but I just think if the siege count isn't super heavy, and you come at them from different angles, if the Lings can get on top of all this stuff, they can close the distance. These are danger points this is all a danger point, then maybe he can get something done. But yeah, Flash, just slow and steady. That's what he does, man. He's the tortoise. Fourth base coming up back left. He's not overextending himself. He's not sending units out on suicide missions. He's just, you know, inviting Queen to attack into him so he can eat the damage, do more damage in turn, and just get a good trade. That's generally how this works. Guess while we're waiting, quick plug for the merchandise for the Falcon Paladin channel. Just go to falconpaladin.store. You'll see hoodies, you'll see hats and pillows and t-shirts and mugs and all sorts of cool stuff. If you want to join the Falcon Paladin merch crew, you can check out what the prices are in multiple different currencies, no matter where you are in the world. I think we have you covered for the most part. But yeah, check out falconpaladin.store for your StarCraft needs. Boom, boom, there's your consume. There are your defilers. That's what we've been getting up to high for here at 15 minutes. Yeah, I think Flash wants Queen to attack in here. He's not moving out. He's not really threatening any of these bases, right? He's just, I guess, hoping and expecting Queen to attack face first into this. Queen's at 126 total supplies, working on additional flyer attacks. We are seeing, like, some of the most Mutalisk upgrading we've seen in some time on this channel as well. And here we go again. This is what I'm talking about. This is Queen sort of attacking into an entrenched position. Look at this. Hey, there's a free siege tank. How many mutas are going to die? I don't know, 3? Is that a good trade? No. Right? Mutalisks are 100, 100 each. Some vultures try to sneak on up to this fourth base, but that does not happen for them at all. Plague being researched here by Queen. Enjoying that stuff for sure. Love to see some good Plague dropped on top of these mech units. Repairing all of them is expensive and time consuming, and not something that Flash wants to do. He will, I think, he will repair them. Because you have to. I mean, you really can't leave Goliath sitting at 1 HP against this particular composition. In general, you just can't. Adrenal glands on the way here. It's 2-3 upgrades at 17 minutes for the mech. 2-2 here for the Hydralisk. The wings are sitting at 2-1. With +2 attack on the way for those guys. There's your consumes. It's kind of a satisfying sound, isn't it? Although I guess people who play against Zerg a lot are like, no, I hate that sound. That sound kills me. Yeah, it's precursor to death for a lot of people, but not really for Flash. So Flash is pretty happy to sit on 4 bases here, I guess. Maybe eventually make him move out. Yeah, there are some spider mines. So the more spider mines they are, the less likely my Zergling idea is going to work super well. But we're just containing, I think, at this stage. This is just Zero having extra bases, 1 extra base up on Flash. Some vultures cruising on into this extra base on the right side and going to kill several drones, all of the drones at this base, actually. And then also totally die. Because they're getting chased by mutas. But these are YOLO vultures! And they all die, but good target firing. Obviously great target firing. Several of those drones get killed too. So we're down to 46 workers here for Queen. Not a great number when Flash is at 65 SCVs for sure. Ultralisk Cavern's on the way here. Do we feel like this is the plan, or is this an option? Do we feel like we want to have Ultralisks for tanking purposes? They can be pretty good at absorbing tank fire and letting the Lings and Hydras and mutas get on top of everything else. I mean, the mutas obviously aren't bothered by the tanks, but the other stuff. This is a really important base for Flash to keep. If he can hang on to this base, I think he wins this game. If that is too presumptuous of me to say, let me know. But it sure seems like if he's able to hang on to this one, that's going to be a victory for him. I don't know. We'll see. We have a lot of game yet. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Just helps the YouTube algorithm know that I'm here. And if you want, leave me a comment. I do read every comment anyone ever leaves on any of my videos. I'm not so big that I can't do that. I understand there are YouTube channels that are massive and get, 100,000 comments in the first hour of posting their video, and they can't read their comments because obviously, duh. But I obviously can, because I am not nearly that big. This is going to be a pretty hotly contested base, I feel like. I feel like the side bases here on Destination are generally the most attacked when it comes down to it. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know if you want to expand up here. If you're Queen, there's siege tanks. They just move up a little bit. Suddenly they're in spitting distance of your hatchery. More vulture attacks, man. Yeah, man. Queen having to spend minerals on drones is not what he wants to do today. Both players maxed out. This has been an extremely, extremely patient TVZ here for your Saturday. I hope you're enjoying it, nevertheless, because I think we're going to start seeing some stuff here real soon. Real soon. My gosh, this vulture is getting more kills. There you go, Queen. Take it down. We're slowly inching forward here if we're Flash. Just a little bit here. Nah, this is what I'm talking about. These positions, right side, left side, firing from the low ground to the high ground. Attacking up a ramp is generally a bad idea if you're Protoss or Zerg, but doing it against Zerg, especially if you're Terran, I guess if you're fighting against Protoss as well, it's pretty good. Oh, the irradiates, though. Coming on in. Overlords actually accepting a lot of fire, but no. This is no. All right. Well, I mean, it's a fun idea. Hey, now we get some Dark Swarm. Now we get some Plague Goo all up in here. This is a little bit interesting, although the tanks are being protected by Dark Swarm pretty effectively. The Hydras are not doing super well here. Are there Lings in the mix at all, or is this just all Hydras? Man, this Vulture that snuck... 14 kill Vulture up there that snuck up during the chaos. 14 kill Siege Tank, 6 kill Siege Tank. These are double Dark Swarms. You can't even really tell what's under there all that much, but apparently it's 3 Siege Tanks. They got Plagued that ended up getting a ton of kills. That is 30, like basically 36, 35 kills between them. Man, guess what's on the way though? 14 Ultralisks in production from Queen. I don't know if there's anything in StarCraft that gets me more hyped than seeing 14 Ultralisks in production at the same time. They have their full upgrades. They've got their speed. They are ready to rock. How many siege tanks and spider mines are left? It may be a lot, actually. Man, I don't know. We haven't seen Ultralisk lines do all that well against Flash in the past. So, all right. I'm going to kill some stuff over here. Get into this 5th base of Flash down on the right side. Oh, never mind. Died from the irradiate and the other damage taken. Yeah, Flash is fine. Flash is just 100% fine with these proceedings. I do not support Queen A-moving. I mean, it's not A-moving. He's casting spells, and he's bringing in Overlords, and he's flanking and stuff. But attacking into an entrenched Terran player who is Flash with 3/3 siege tanks is just, you're not going to get good trades that way. And I don't know that you have enough income to warrant doing this over and over. Like, you can if you have a ton more income than Flash does, right? You're going to make bad trades, but it doesn't matter because you have a lot of income. You don't. You really haven't mined a whole lot from this right side base because of many attacks that we've seen in there. Trying to jump in here with an Ultra Hydra army. The irradiates on the Overlords is interesting. Okay, this is... This is just feeling like a bit of a futile game for the Zerg player. Once Flash gets to this point, he's just a juggernaut. He's just a beast. And it's easy to say, hard to do, but you just can't attack into him when his tanks are sieged. You can't do it. Still covering this left side a whole bunch with a bunch of siege tanks. The right side is unopposed. Once again, this base is under fire, and there's really not much that Queen is doing to defend it. A couple Ultras come down this way. All right. Lings with adrenal glands putting in extra damage. Very nice. Bringing in some friendly fire tank splash. This hatch is probably dead. Flash being extremely patient coming up this right side. Yeah, enough 3/3 vultures that even Sunkens aren't really a threat to them anymore, especially not a single Sunken working on their own. And yeah, by the way, if you're enjoying the StarCraft content, I do have, boy, so many Brood War videos on this channel. I post them 5 times a week. You can support me on patreon.com/Falcon Paladin for as little as $1 a month. If you feel like supporting me, I appreciate it. If you don't, no worries. Alrighty then. Trying to save his right side base here is Queen, using Dark Swarm pretty darn well, but boy, just so many siege tanks at the bottom of this ramp. And the left's okay. So I think this is going to be GG. 179 versus 92 supply here for Flash. And once again, man, Flash just basically just taking his bases, just pushing along the right side a little bit and winning. He didn't even have to kill this hatchery. That is how dominant Flash was here today. My goodness. Yeah, and Queen just attacking on into siege tanks. Huh. Like, Flash didn't actually have to cross the halfway point of this map to win this game. Right? Just with a couple of vultures, he crossed it. No siege tanks, no drops, no science vessels, just defending very, very well, very economically, getting good upgrades, good irradiates, and winning. This is how you do it, Terran players. I don't even I don't even know what to tell you right now other than that's it. That's exactly how to do. This is textbook TVZ, and it's Flash. Like, you clicked on this. You knew what you were getting into. This really... So here's the thing. This map feels pretty Terran favored. At least if they're going mech. There's not a lot of area to cover here to cover your direct attack areas, right? And then this is a narrow area. And then you can low ground siege on both sides here and really make sure these side bases are hard for the Zerg player to take. And that's it, right? Those are the keys. I think we have seen ZVT wins for Zerg on this map, but I just have memories of lesser players than this trying this, and it looked pretty much the same for the Zerg player in that situation too. Like, the Zerg player was not as good with Dark Swarm or Plague at all, and was just kind of running haphazardly into siege tanks and dying miserably. But I mean, again, Queen was using the spells correctly and still running into siege tanks and dying haphazardly. Fun stuff. All right, let's see how much of a shellacking this was, shall we? 25 minutes and 46 seconds, 220,000 points for Flash, 170,000 points for our guy, Queen. Outproduced the Terran player by almost a 2-to-1 advantage here. That is very close to 2-to-1. Only killed 133 and lost 432 of his Zerg units. The ratio is not good. Oh wait, that's killed ratio. This is lost ratio. So yeah, same thing. 100 to 464. Similar numbers of building raids, which is not good for a Zerg player. And then resources did a pretty good job out mining Flash. Way more gas mined, more minerals mined by a significant margin, and outspent him by 14,000 resources. But cost efficiency, sieged up. You know, that's it. That's how this works. All right. Excellent stuff. That right there is going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. You take care of yourself.